What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Canucks Uncensored headquarters. We are doing a quick impromptu edition of the podcast, but we have a very special guest with us here today. As you can see, we have here Rob, the hockey guy Williams. Woo! Rob, national sports editor at the Daily Hive Vancouver and Offside Canada, covering all things Canucks. Rob, the hockey guy Williams, thanks so much for joining us today, man. We really appreciate the time.
Of course, happy to be here.
Well, Rob, I mean, yes, we sure have a lot to talk about these Vancouver Canucks now, don't we? After quite the week that they have had.
Oh, man. What a bombshell of a weekend we had there, eh?
Totally.
Oh,
I mean, Rob, I saw that, before doing the show, I was doing a little bit of research and just seeing the kind of things that you've been putting out there as a Canucks fan, and you're a regular guest on the Securitas and Price show, but you're also doing you also do a lot of appearances on other people's podcasts. So there was one very interesting thing that you said 3 months ago. So, Rob, do you still think the Canucks are making the playoffs?
You don't even know what question you're gonna ask.
Hey guys, I did more than that. I predicted a 100-point season. I thought, look, I think I put my optimist hat on going into that prediction. But I must admit, I am surprised at the way it's gone this year. I did not think they were going to be in dead last. In mid-December. That's a total shock to me. I wasn't sure about Quinn Hughes' future. I definitely thought he'd at least make it to the trade deadline. I mean, it's wild the way things have gone. I mean, my reasoning going into this season, where I was thinking that they were going to have a bounce back year, was that I thought Elias Pettersson could not be as bad as he was before, and he hasn't been. He's been better. Mm-hmm. Still not to the level that I had hoped. I thought this is when we'd find him bounce right back and being the guy that we'd seen him be earlier in his career. Thatcher Demko looked to be healthy. When Thatcher Demko is healthy, he's a top flight goaltender. Philip Hedl, didn't count on him getting injured immediately. Of course, that was a risk, right? But I figured, you know what? You got Hedl will hold down second line center. It looked like he was doing that. Got injured. Demko injured. And I think the other aspect that went off the rails this year that was maybe a little bit unpredictable is the coaching of Adam Foote. I think he needs to be under the microscope. Where's the defensive structure? Think back to fans complaining about Rick Tocchet hockey that were too boring. Bring back the boring, please. You need some defensive structure, right? You need that, and they don't have it under Adam Foote. A whole host of reasons for that. The center depth is a key aspect, of course, but I think it goes beyond that.
I certainly do think it goes beyond that. Yes. That is certainly one of the things that we wanted to ask you about too. But yes, who would have thought they would be in this position by this season? Everything that we thought that could go wrong has basically gone wrong. And you know what? Like you, Rob, I think we were pretty optimistic to start the season as well.
Yeah.
We were both predicting that they would just make the playoffs. I was expecting a 90-point season from Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
Where did you think that they would end up?
I said we would start the season 8-2. I was like, Philip Hedl's going to be a monster. Demko's not going to get injured. And as soon as that happened, I'm like, oh, yeah, they're not winning 4 more in a row and make this right.
See,
you wonder how things would have gone different though had Hedl stayed healthy, had Demko stayed healthy. Things could have been a little bit different, but of course, and Teddy Bluger, let's not forget him as well. Having that depth at center just completely decimate. I mean, but that's the risk you run when you enter a season with paper thin depth at center, and one of those centers has a history with concussions. That's the risk you run, and they got burned by it, right? So they don't get a pass for it because, of course. The Pius Suter decision, the decision to let him walk, I mean, that looks absolutely asinine right now. I think at the time we all assumed, well, if they're letting Suter walk, that they're saying we're going to do better than Suter. We're gonna find someone else to bring in, and swing and a miss, right? They struck out.
And that better than Suter ended up being Evander Kane.
I think that was just the rosters.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, Rob, you said a very poignant word there. The word was risk. And I think it's very clear that the Canucks just took a little too many risks.
Yeah.
And it has definitely cost them.
Yeah.
But seeing as what has happened, Rob, this last couple of days, and I'm sure you've talked to end about it, but what were your initial thoughts when the announcement hit and Quinn Hughes was traded out of Vancouver?
Yeah.
What was your thoughts and feelings?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big prospect guy, so I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, of course, Marco Rossi, we all became familiar with his game, with all the rumors throughout the summer. So that was a player you're, instantly familiar with. Okay, they get a first-round pick, and then you look at the prospects, and I think the more and more you look at Zeev Buium, you go, okay, this guy is a real blue chip prospect, and for me, that was the key to a trade with for Quinn Hughes. I think all the scuttlebutt with insiders before the trade was announced made me nervous, because they were talking about wanting roster players, wanting players that are already in the NHL, those types of guys, and I'm thinking, ooh, are they going to be is this like a Lyndon Vay, Sven Berchi kind of move, right? Because you don't want to be making moves for guys like teams don't generally want to give up guys that are already in the NHL, that are more of a sure thing. You pay a price for that. I do think in this deal though, you get 4 pieces here. You get the first round pick plus 3 players. Those 3 players are all in the NHL already. But if you look at the ages of them, Zeev Buium, he just turned 20, so effectively, he was a teenager not long ago. You get a player like that, that's better than a first round pick, right? Because that's better than whatever he was drafted, right? That's better than a 10th overall draft pick, because you get that player and you also have more assurance that he's going to develop into something, because he's a couple of years into his development after being drafted. There's way more certainty with a guy like that he'll pan out. So I think that when you look at a guy like Zeev Buium, he's already since being drafted, I think he's shown better than his draft position. So that's like getting a top 5 pick in effect, right? That's really breaking into the NHL. So that right there is the real key to this. I didn't want to see them just get 5 Hoper pieces, right? Or 5 pieces.
Hoper pieces. That's a good way of putting it.
I didn't want them to get a guy that was okay, they got a guy that's a roster player, but is he really going to move the needle, right? Those types of pieces. So I think getting Zeev Buium was goes without saying, but that was the key to the deal. And then you've got a lot of other pieces here that I think are valuable pieces. I think Marco Rossi, 24 years old, already a 60-point center last season. I mean, there's some real potential there for him to get better and better, in the next in the near term. And then we'll see what Liam Ogren is going to turn into, right? But again, that's another former first-round pick. That's a guy that's put up good numbers at the AHL level. So you know what I mean? Will he pan out? Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm not sure. But that's another piece here. And then you're going to get likely a late first-round pick. But that's you've got the volume in those 4 pieces, but you've got the quality of Buium, which is a real blue chip prospect. And I think that's kind of what I was looking for in this deal, is that you get at least one piece that you go, man, this guy could really on his own make this deal look not bad for the Canucks.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, for myself, knowing what I know about William now, I'm way better. I'm feeling way better about the trade. I don't know about you, Whit. And yeah.
Yeah, when I first saw it on my phone, I was actually at my second job. I was like, God, don't do this to me right now. I don't know who this Booyam guy is.
Yes.
Don't do this. I know who the other two guys were. But I read, and the first comment I read from a chat was one of the best defensive prospects out there right now. I'm like, okay. Then when I mean that's it better be offensive. I'm like, oh, okay. It fits, right? Because almost all the rumors that were going out there, other than Nemec, I did not really hear any other elite pieces, right? I mean, Edvinsson was rumored, but it wasn't really out there. But now that you hear and you see everything, he was literally the only elite piece that was offered, along with the other things that came with it, right? It just better in everything. But, at the end of the day, you never win a Quinn Hughes trade. But this is really good for the circumstances. Right?
So, guys, I would quibble with that, though. Like, I mean, look, it's a sad state of affairs when you have to trade a player like Quinn Hughes. And do you want to trade him? Absolutely not. I think we'd all hope that he would have stayed in Vancouver for another 10 years and been this like stud defenseman that's like Scott Niedermayer, that's good into his late 30s and just is a pillar on the team forever, right? That's the number one option. But can you win a Quinn Hughes trade? I believe you can. I mean, it all depends on how these guys develop, right? Like, what does Booyam become? Like, Booyam's obvious. Like, I've said it probably like 5 times already, but he's the key to the deal. If he becomes if he becomes 80% of Quinn Hughes, and these other guys develop and hit, and Rossi continues to get better, like I think you can make a case that you can win a Quinn Hughes trade, but. Of course, we're all nervous for it, right? Like, it's not a trade anyone wants to make because you know what Quinn Hughes is and you know how good he is.
Yeah.
Well, having said that, Rob, and I know you're part of the media now, and you're, it's part of your job. But here at Canucks Uncensored, we really like to, try to hit where the fans are feeling and what we feel about this team. Okay, so taking off your professional hat and seeing how the trade went down, tell me, what were you feeling like emotionally? How did it make you feel to know that we had to trade Quinn Hughes and it was happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of a slow burn on this one, right? It's not like it was an overnight thing, right? Yeah. So I think it just became more and more obvious. I remember speaking with a friend of mine in a group chat, and I think one of people were talking about Hughes leaving, and somebody in the chat, this is before the trade had been made, it was like he never once said he doesn't want to play here, and I was like. I responded. I was like, "It's written all over his face. Like, it's just how he's speaking in the media." And I know he's got that. I know he's got like that face all the time, like when he's happy or sad. But it felt different this year, right? Like it was like he is gone. Like, why on earth would you stick around for this? I don't think. I've seen a little bit of Quinn Hughes hate on social media. I think that's the vast. I think that's the minority of fans thinking that. I think the vast majority of fans are pissed at Canucks management. They're pissed at Canucks ownership. They are furious that they let the organization turn into such a tire fire that it pushed Quinn Hughes away. And I don't think that people are blaming him, right? Like, why would you sign up for this? Apart from Quinn Hughes, there's not a whole lot here. So, that's how I felt. It wasn't like this like big gut shot or anything for me. I think it to a lesser degree, it kind of felt like when Roberto Luongo was traded. When Luongo was traded, it was like, okay, like finally, because like it had to happen, right? So let's see it happen, and then hopefully they get a good deal. Right. And, JT Miller, I felt a similar way with that. It's like, geez, like just end it already, and then let's see what they get for it. Right. So the fact that it was that I think they made out pretty well in this trade makes it a lot easier. And I think that's, and also it was a trade that was like a trade that a rebuilding team would make. I was worried that there was going to be you watch the response from Canucks fans if they flip this draft pick for help right now. Like, people will scream bloody murder, right? And so
they will lose it.
The fan base is dying for a rebuild. Just rebuild it slowly and properly and stop taking shortcuts. That's what people want, right? And I think that this type of move, it's a step in that direction, and I think people are hoping that there's more steps in that direction to end the season.
Absolutely. You've hit so many nails on the head here, Rob. I'm glad you're echoing the thoughts of the fans.
Yes.
'Cause that's what it's all about here. That's what we want to see from everybody, just to see, hey, what we care about is important, okay? And you know what? I think as the more of our voices are getting louder, it's working out better for us.
Wow.
But Rob, thank you again. Well, guys, thanks for joining in the chat. We have lots of comments here, and if you have questions for Rob, we have a little bit amount of time, but if you have questions for Rob, put something in here for Rob. But Rob, here we have another question here for you. I don't know about you, but there is a lot of scuttlebutt around the Canucks right now that there is a culture issue in the locker room. Is that something that you agree with?
Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult to know what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
100%.
But, there's the canary in the coal mine, though, I think a couple times here. Rick Tocchet wanted out. Quinn Hughes wanted out. There was a rift in the dressing room the management still references. I mean, they referenced JT Miller in the Quinn Hughes trade here. Clearly that tore the dressing room apart. So how could it not? How could it not be a culture problem, right? You're the worst team in the National Hockey League. Your coach didn't want to be here anymore. Your captain didn't want to be here anymore. I know a bunch of players re-signed here. Brock Besser wanted to come back, and Connor Garland wanted back, and Demko. So I suppose that's a sign in the other column.
Sure.
I don't know if it's culture or what it is, but there's not a winning culture here, right? It's not a winning culture. So yeah, something's wrong with this team. I don't know. I think I echo the sentiment of a lot of fans. I'm just sick of watching the same guys lose over and over and over again. Bring me some new guys. I'll watch some new guys lose. You know what I mean? Like bring me somebody else, and just because you want hope for the future, right? I don't know if Rossi and Bouillon and Ogren are the answer, but they could be. They could develop into something. And I think, I don't know about everybody else, but I was getting pretty checked out on watching this team this season. Since the Hughes trade, it's far more interesting, right? Because you're going, okay,
for sure.
Bouillon, let's see what he's got. He plays a really good first game. Ogren gets a goal in the second game, and you're thinking every time that a goal goes in like that, you're going to be like, okay, is this guy a player? Or what's he going to turn into?
Yeah. It's definitely more exciting. I think for me, the checkout game or the checkout that you're talking about for me happened when we lost to Calgary. At that point, I was like, this is what? I am no longer that down on losses anymore. If we lose and we go to the bottom, that can only be loud noise for change. Totally. And change is happening.
I always say with digital media, you can always see how interested people are or aren't in the content that you produce, whether it's podcasts, articles, or social media, whatever. At times like this, in my 10 years at Daily Hive, unfortunately, I've seen a lot of losing teams. At times like this, I say people no longer care about the games. They care about the team. They don't stop caring about the team. But the games, especially before the Hughes trade, they don't care about the games. They care about the team, but not the games.
Yeah. So when you say they don't care about the games, basically everyone is on Team Tank at this point.
I it's this. I think it's probably the prevailing feeling amongst fans, and it makes
I think so.
They really need, they could use they got a number one defenseman of the future. They perhaps have a number one goalie of the future in the pipeline already. They need a number one center, right? Yeah. They need a top 5 draft pick. So they need to suck this year to get it, because otherwise, how do you get that guy?
Yeah, too hard. Oh, I wanted to ask another one question just based off of the guys we just got and when we get healthy. Do you think this team, currently is last, but do you think this team, can be hot enough to get us away from the top 5 picks? Or do you think that even with this roster and them getting healthy, they'll still be bottom 5?
Yeah, I mean, if they get healthy, of course, there's the opportunity to get out of the top 5, especially if Demko.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Demko is a big key to that, right? If Demko gets hot, but it's true, right? It's true.
It's true.
I mean, look, long term, you've taken Quinn Hughes off your team. I know now you're no longer a complete mess up the middle now that you have Rossi there. But Booyam is not Quinn Hughes, so your defense is significantly weaker without Hughes. They had a nice little bump there, with a 2-game winning streak, but eventually they'll come back to Rogers Arena where they never win, and and they'll struggle, right?
Okay.
Oh man, and then the boos will start happening. The jersey throwing has already started happening.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of that though. I think people are checked out.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
like I said, they're just going to be like, meh, all right, this team sucks.
Yes, I think that's overwhelmingly happening already. And you know what, Rob? My biggest fear, when you're saying Demko's back and they're looking exciting, I do not want to see this team anywhere close to a win. Anywhere. Okay, sure, give me some exciting games, fine. But
Yep.
I'm cheering for you to lose at this point.
Let prospects do well, get the points
Yes.
and all that stuff, but
And I think that's the importance right there is do all you stack the deck in your favor if you're management, right?
yeah.
If you can trade Thatcher Demko, you trade Thatcher Demko. If you can move guys obviously the pending UFAs, those are obvious guys to move. You've got to decide which veterans you want to keep to kind of show these young players the way. I think you don't want to completely blow it up in that sense. Like a Tyler Myers, I think is a good guy to keep around probably, at least until before his contract expires, and then you deal him at the deadline, right? That's which would be next year.
Give him the
those
C.
are the moves. Those are the moves to make, right? They need to start acting like a rebuilding team and not this hurry up and cut corners team, because it's blatantly obvious now if it wasn't already before.
Absolutely. Well, Rob, I know we're short on time, but we've got some questions from the fans here and from viewers here. We have Swervin here. He's one of our regulars. He has a question. Rob, do you believe Tocchet would leave if there was not a vacancy in Philadelphia? So if there wasn't a vacancy in Philadelphia, would Tocchet have stayed? Do you think?
I think he was gone either way. I mean, I think he was gone with a decent opportunity somewhere else. I was wondering about New York, that might have made some sense, or maybe some other places. But it surprised me in the moment. But given that he went to Philadelphia, which is not exactly it's not like it's a stacked team in Philadelphia. They're trying to build, they're building on the upswing over there.
Given
not
that
much
he
different
left
for that. I found that surprising at the time. But I think
That's
that was
even
telling.
more of a writing on the wall for sure.
Are there any other questions?
There wasn't.
Okay, can I ask one?
Sure.
thought
You go ahead.
sorry,
you got one more for Rob.
I
here.
got
Go
one
ahead.
more, Rob. So
Yeah.
you kind of touched on it already. Maybe it's a bit of a foreshadowing, but if you were in charge of the Canucks, would you hold on to Demko all the way till next year and have his no movement clause kick in? And Lankinen already has a no movement clause. Would you go into next season with both goalies having a no movement clause or no trade?
I think you move Demko whenever you get an opportunity to move him.
Right? That's my thoughts too.
I think you could hold on to him a little bit longer this year.
Yeah.
Get him on a bit of a hot streak, show teams, hey, he's been healthy for most of the season. That injury early on was just a blip, and that his chronic injury troubles of are a thing of the past, and then deal him. I think you could do that certainly. And even a guy like Elias Pettersson, if you wanted him to waive his no trade clause, you probably wait till he's on a bit of a hot streak, right? Wait till he's maybe it takes maybe it's not till next season or the season after or something like that. But you wait until he's on one of those years. I think about a guy like Erik Karlsson when he was in San Jose. Remember, he was untradeable, and then he goes out and gets 100 points, wins a Norris Trophy, and suddenly you can trade him, right?
Yeah,
so like that, but to a lesser extent, I think is probably the way to go with Pettersson. With that said, I think Pettersson has been better. I don't think that you can. I've sort of lost hope that he can be your number one center with a bullet, lead the team, be the man,
Certainly.
not a cup winner.
Yeah.
But can he be a 1A, 1B center on a cup winner? Absolutely. I absolutely, like a JT Miller situation, if they got along, like that, I think that's fine. That should be fine for Pettersson. But he's 27 now, right? So like when are you going to be ready to win? Probably when he's in his 30s. So you have to look at age. Age it creeps up on all of us, but it's creeping up on Pettersson. He's not a young guy anymore. I think I still think of him as a young guy because I remember when he was drafted and all the rest. But 27, he's not quite closer to 30 than 25, but he's getting there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So would it be safe to say at the time last year when we are at this time of low again, Rob, we are 2 seasons in a row where we've had a catastrophic thing happen to us. Okay, I can't believe it. All right. But at the time last year, were you on Team Petey or were you on Team Miller?
I was on team neither. I hated both of them. It was such a bad look on both guys, right?
Yeah.
In terms of which guy to trade, because of their age, it was Miller.
Yes.
And I think that contract
fair.
Got a good chance of being an albatross contract. He's battling through injuries with more regularity, so that contract was always going to look better in the front half than the back half. So like to me, that contract's fine if your team's ready to win. But if you're starting to be a rebuilding team or team in transition or whatever buzzwords we're going to use, then you had to move Miller and hope that Pettersson regained his form.
Yes. I mean, it's just, we've gone through so much. I think we've gone through in 2 seasons way more than any other franchise has in 10. All right. So us as Canucks fans, man, we are just taking beatings after beatings, but you're right. I mean, everything you're saying is making sense. Robin, if you don't mind, we have one more question for you from the fans. Swervin again, he's wondering, can Mancini and Buum coexist, or are they too similar? What are your thoughts on that?
Sure, why not? I don't think Mancini's a PP1 specialist of the future. I think that you can have multiple puck-moving defensemen on the same team. So absolutely. I think Buum's the guy that you hope is the Quinn Hughes replacement in
absolutely.
Yeah.
Booyah. Well, Rob, thanks so much for your time, man. We really appreciate it that you coming in on chatting with us. We love your insights, and we love we have you on the inside here in the Canucks Uncensored headquarters. But tell everyone that's viewing right now. We got 10 people on the stream. Tell us, everyone, where they can find more about you. Where can they find you and follow you?
Yeah, Rob the Hockey Guy on all your social media platforms, and you can find my work at dailyhive.com.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. That was fun.
No problem, Rob. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, boys. Thanks for you guys who are in here. Really appreciated Rob joining us today. We've been talking to him for a while, and we wanted to do something together, and what better time to do that when after there has been such abominations of events happening as a Vancouver Canucks fan. So, but thanks you guys for joining us today, and leave me some comments. We appreciate it. Give us a like and subscribe if you like what we do. We just dropped another video today, you guys, about called Canucks Conversations number 3, where I just went out and went on boots on the ground to Rogers Arena just the day before the trade happened. If you want to hear what people were thinking, how people were feeling before the Quinn Hughes trade. You check that video out. And don't worry, I am getting more reaction from people who I'm wanting to ask people what they thought about the trade. And we're going to get some raw reactions about that. But what do we have on the docket in terms of anything graphics-wise?
Graphics-wise?
Yeah, anything?
Oh, boy. Wait, remember? you remember when we were talking about, Quinn Hughes and how toxic things are around after he got traded?
Yeah.
A lot of us, me, you, Kempner, even Clay, right? All of us were on the same sentiments, like, good. It's awesome that it's awesome that I don't even say awesome, but like, it's good on him that he, I guess, had the decision or whatever and went to the team that he wanted to. That's a good on him. That sucks for us, but we shouldn't be getting mad at him for this. But it's so split for some reason.
Is it split?
Rick, I'm going to show you the TikTok poll.
So
holy, I did not expect it to be that close.
So the poll is, guys, do you blame Quinn? And apparently it is 50-50 on this.
Pretty close. 56% says good on Hughes. 56%. 44% said no, he's a quitter. So if I break these numbers down, 74 people say that good on Hughes. 58 people say nope, he's a quitter.
So what are these 58 people thinking?
Holy, I didn't even think it would be that close. So I made the graphic. I wanted to hear it for myself. How could it be that close?
So guys, if you want to put your opinion in, please go check us out. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere, and just put in your vote. Let's sway the decision-making here, okay? Alfred, right?
Hughes, my God.
Yeah, some people are turning on Quinn. Some are like, if he doesn't want to be here, then screw him.
Dude, you hear that so much.
You do. You know what?
Freaking so annoying.
Fine, you're a Canucks fan. I get it.
Dude.
All right, and you know what? We can be what's the word?
Civil?
No, clan-like, or or yes, we want to play for the team on front.
Yes,
but there's no need. The guy's a professional. At the end of the day, these are professional hockey players. They're going to do what is best for them. Okay,
it's a lot better on Instagram. It's 68% supporting Hughes, 32% against Hughes.
Yes,
but where it is absolutely pretty much a landslide for Quinn Hughes, 67% thinks he's a quitter, 33% think he's a winner out of 15 votes on good. X.
Oh, like I said, guys, let's make our voices heard. Tell these people that he's not a quitter, all right? I mean, sure, if you think he is, fine. Whatever. But and we welcome to hear your side of the story, okay? Mm-hmm. So hopefully if you disagree with it as well, sure, let us know. Okay.
Yeah.
Dual damn watching the host drink a nice scotch with his homie for his 40th got me craving one. Yes. Well, Duolingo, you want to come to the headquarters and join us? I'll pour you a scotch. Okay. Yes. The Quinn Hughes people are little bitches. Swervy. Yes.
Holy,
there's so
many.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks again for joining us today. This was a short impromptu headquarters Canucks Uncensored Live. We'll probably get another podcast early next week. We usually do it early in the week, and we'll see what the Canucks are up to, see how they do with these new teams. I haven't watched the last 2 games. I've been doing it on purpose, but I think I'm going to probably start watching again. Like, just check out Zeev, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm checking out the prospects and then hoping for a loss, but not disappointed if they win.
Correct.
Now that's where I'm at.
Go Canucks, go, but not really. See you guys.